Hey everyone, 2025 is beginning, and there are plenty of video games on the horizon. You name them: Dragon Quest, Atelier, Like a Dragon, some spirited successors, and so on. Let me know which are the games that attract your attention so far. In my case, these are the 8 games that I expect to play this year. And the first entry that is around the corner is Ender Magnolia. It is supposed to be fully released on January 23. Unfortunately, it seems like this one doesn't have a physical release, so most likely I will have to wait some time for that. Otherwise, this one is quite promising, as the devs will rework plenty of things for its full release. And from my previous experience playing Ender Lilies, this is definitely marked on my checklist. On this story we are going to follow Lilac, an atoner who wakes deep in an underground lab, embarking on a journey to stop the homunculi that run rampant. I'm not entirely up to date with this game, but there are some references about the Reign of Death, so my guess is that there is a link between both games. Gameplay wise, it is a Metroidvania where you can set different companions and use them to advance on the story. If it is similar as Ender Lilies, I am guessing it is going to have multiple endings and an interesting world. On January 30, Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero is going to be released, and when I saw this game I was quite surprised, because I thought the Phantom Brave was going to be abandoned in the Sea of Time. I mean, I haven't heard about this franchise since somewhere around 2012 or something like that. But for those who are interested on this one, we are going to follow Marona and Ash, duo that is attacked while returning from a quest. On this incident, Marona loses her powers and she is also separated from Ash, as he tries to fight alone. This is a turn-based game with some strategic elements, similar to the Trails games, putting them into perspective, as you are able to move around specific areas. But also it is presented as a wacky entry, where you can place allies on top of each other or even use them as a weapon. I like the idea, but let's check down the line how it goes. Next, on February 14, Trails Through Daybreak 2. In this channel I have already talked about the first game in the series, and just what I have to say is that there is a cliffhanger with Van and some things that have to be done. So yeah, I am excited to see how things turn out in the second part. But man, this game will have to wait a bit, as most likely it's going to be as freaking long as other Trails games. So then again, be prepared to read a freaking lot, as this story got better and better as chapters passed. So I definitely have a decent expectation on this one. As for its gameplay, this is a turn-based game, where position is key as you need to find the right places to deal as much damage as possible. However, this goes both ways, so it is important to pay attention to your allies. On February 28th, there is a big entry coming: Monster Hunter Wilds. If you've seen some of the old videos or joined when I started this channel, you know that it will have to be here for plenty of things. As for its story and gameplay, I usually try to keep myself away from news because damn! Oftentimes these games haven't been released and you know 90% of what you're going to hunt. So all I know is that there were some funny glitches on the alpha, if I am not mistaken, and that you can use 2 weapons. Aside from that, no idea what's going to happen here. And in all honesty, I am not that hooked on its story, but its gameplay, yeah! I'm excited to see what's going to be the deal, because I kinda heard that it was something like an open world, so not sure how quests and stuff like that will work, or if it is going to have some of the old assets, like gold rings and stuff like that. No idea what's going on, but I will definitely be there to check this game. On March 20, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is going to be released. Not sure I wanna play this entry once again, to be honest, but if you didn't have the chance to play the original, I consider it a must. It has a beautiful and captivating story, with interesting twists, following Cross, aka your avatar, and Elma, on a tale where humans had to leave Earth, as it was caught in the middle of a conflict between ganglions and ghosts, 2 civilizations that are ages ahead of human technology, and after multiple incidents, these survivors land on planet Mira, a planet where the human race will have to begin once again, but not without having to fight with everything they got. Gameplay wise, here you can choose between different roles and specialize your unit by combining different skills and arts, where you can deal some classic combos by using arts on a specific order. Plus later down the line you get on skills to then reach new horizons. Just a word of advice: choose mechanic. Do not be a moron like me who chose archaeology or something like that, otherwise you would want to throw the game out of the window in your first 10 hours, of course considering that it is similar as the original entry. From here the following entries have no release date, but they are supposed to be released this year. Not sure how it is pronounced, but Clair Obscure Expedition 33 came out of nowhere, but it is setting the bar really high, challenging AAA games in an interesting setting, where the characters of this tale are hunting a paintress, who's able to kill anyone she draws in the sky. What's worth mentioning is that this is a French game, of course taking inspiration from France with a dash of Persona and Final Fantasy, similar to the 8th entry. With that said, yeah, consider me for this interesting approach. Even when the devs are setting the bar really high, I prefer to keep my expectations on check. Aside from that, its gameplay takes the classic turn-based system, so I am also excited to see what are the mechanics implemented on this entry. Next in the list, Trails in the Sky. There is no set date for this entry, but having the chance to look once again to Estelle and Joshua's story is something I definitely want to do, where they try to stop Colonel Alan Richard, as he's trying to get one of the 7 treasures given by Goddess Adios. I believe it is not needed to explain its gameplay considering that Trails Through Daybreak was presented. However, I am kinda confident that there is going to be something extra in between, some mechanics to make it different. In any case, here there are multiple things that attract my attention, as the trailers look really good, but I don't know, I will let you decide if there is something behind the curtain. And last but not least, the entry that surprised me the most was Dead End Request C. If I remember well, it was supposed to be released somewhere between May, June or July, but a couple of weeks ago it was said to be cancelled on the West and Europe, as these series have some questionable things in between. However, in Amazon or in the official page it is still visible, so no idea what's going to happen, to be honest. Probably it's going to be heavily censored. In all honesty, I still believe it's going to be released this year. But I gotta say that I don't like the idea of having some kind of censorship, as these games were always marked as mature, but it is what it is, I guess. In any case, this entry is different from the previous games, as far as I know featuring some roguelike mechanics, but aside from that, this is another game where I am a bit on the dark. I know it is supposed to continue the story from where it was left in Dead End 2, as May is working with the heroines of the first game. Aside from that, I prefer to keep the game as a surprise. With this, I hope you found this video informative, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.